All right, so it's the day after the fan was put in, and that noise I was yelling about last night, and there's some weird noise from the fan. What's going on? Yeah, it sucks. Yeah. So I woke up early. I slept maybe 4 hours. I was just so fucking annoyed with this thing. But let's see what's going on here. Hopefully I don't trip too much, because the ladder doesn't work either. Why would it? Of course. Spot's still there. Of course we're going to talk about it. Let's fucking do this. Shaky goddamn ladder. Oh, good Lord. That's fine. So here's the fan. Now, light works very well. No noises. If there's any faint noises, it's just the AC over there, but I don't think that can even be picked up, right? Okay. Now, I'm going to, let's see. Okay, I don't want to fall. So because I don't have 3 hands, I'm going to have to do this camera. I will hold right with this remote hand. Now, this is the fan, and let's turn it on. Now, again, right? Okay. Now, I don't know how well it's being picked up, you know? And it is noticeably louder. Now, because of the ladder and everything, I'm not even as close to it as I could be, right? But the fan is loud. Even if you, let's see here, even if you turn it to medium, you can still hear it. Even on 1, you can still hear it. The clicks are annoying too. It's, I think, the receiver. It's not the motor, but come on, people. You know, there's a breeze function on it where it randomly changes the low, medium, high setting. But it does these clicks, 2 clicks every minute. It's like, okay, fine, I don't have to use that feature. Who cares? That's stupid. But the machine humming, especially, like, this is on low now. You can still hear it humming. And it's like listening to a lawnmower off in the distance, right? There's nothing now. High. And, you know, you're like, okay, it might not even come through. Might not even, now that is an actual lawn thing outside. I don't know if that comes through. But the point is that the hum from that fucking thing does not actually abate when the fan is on full speed. You can always hear that humming there. And the whole point of a fan, for me at least, is it feels nice, but it's also to make some noise, so all other noises, like the rattling of this AC thing. I did fix that, by the way. I did climb all the way up there, screwed it a little bit. I don't hear too much rattling from there. So one successful thing today solved, right? But the fan is precisely so that there's a nice kind of background noise, so you don't hear little things, and it's just a nice calming sort. Yeah, that's a fan. I don't have to explain. But the fan, even on the highest setting, it doesn't overcome the humming, buzzing, or whatever. Now, because I have a bunch of other fans here, and they have their own issues. Okay. Now, notice here, all right? This is the other fan. Oh, let's go quick. All right. So I can hear some buzzing here, right? I don't even know if this is up here or this is picking it up here in the camera. I'm trying to get the I can hear it, but it's so faint that even on the lowest setting, even on the high setting, the motor is not louder than the fan. All right? So the wind, right? So it's like, you buy this fucking thing, $160. It's not cheap to install this, because everyone's like, oh, I have a ladder fee because, you know, I have to bring a big ladder out, and any ceiling on above 10 feet. That's kind of routine, is an extra $100. And the trip charge, and the so it probably takes as much to install the fan as the fan, plus extra fun motor oil on the, yeah, we'll talk about that, I'm sure. And it's all this catastrophizing that I do, just to continue off of that, which is, you know, there's no, You know, it's just, this sucks. It's terrible, and I feel like it's the end of the world with these things. I really do. I mean, the despair, suicidal stuff comes back, you know? And part of it is precisely because it's not about these fucking things, right? We'll get to solutions for these. But because there's nothing else going on, it's like even this one fucking simple thing can't work right, you know? I did everything right here. You know, the old fan, the capacitor, I think, was broken. It wasn't spinning fast enough anymore after a month of being here. And it's like, okay, fine. It's not working. And then I take a couple days of researching this. Oh, it can't be this integrated LED. Oh, it's got to be white because, I don't know, it blends in pretty well. I like that. It doesn't have weird things coming off. I always hate that. You know, it looks nice and sleek. It's a nice little toilet bowl on the ceiling, hanging down a little bit. I like how it looks. I like it. The wind power is better than over there for sure. Those old fans, there was something even smaller in here. But that goddamn buzzing or humming, you know, it's like, how am I supposed to, yeah, it's just so goddamn frustrating. I think this is a DC motor as opposed to an AC motor. And oh, it's super quiet. Let's read it right here. Quiet motor technology plus, plus noise, you know? And it's like, okay, so what do I do now? I mean, there's a couple things. I can, you know, without the, you know, suicide and despair, I can post a video of what's happening here and put it on some home improvement or DIY sites. Not that I did it myself. And that's the thing is, I don't think this is the guy installed it wrong. You know, it's not wobbling despite the massive down rod. You know, it's a 3-foot down rod, 36-inch down rod. It's not wobbling. It's less wobbly. I don't see it wobbling at all. It's better than the old thing. That was wobbling a little bit even when it was even working, when it was going high speed. You know? So it's like, okay, I can do a quick little video of, is this appropriate amount of noise? I can send it to tech support there. You know, I can post it on, this was from Home Depot. They have a couple forums there. You know, and it's like, you know, because this is just a motor noise. I mean, it's not overly horrible, but I'm assuming this is normal, which means what the fuck? Like, I don't think I'm that, because those fans, those are so much older. They're the old motors or whatever, the AC motors, and you can hear a faint fucking noise coming out of it, but it's not that. It's not to the point where it never overcomes that with the fans. You know, that's the whole, the point of the fan is to get rid of noises like that. Okay? This just produces more noise. I went to bed pretty late anyways, and I tried to have this on. I had the fan that's circulating the sunroom there here. You know, I keep taking this in and out every day. And look, I'm a pretty minimalist guy, so it doesn't matter if the fan, but really, is it this much of a fucking luxury to get a goddamn fan working? Is it this much of a motherfucking luxury that, hey, $160, get a guy out to do it, you know? Is it this much of a motherfucking, you know, indulgence to get a fucking ceiling fan working? You know, and I know I'm not crazy because those fans make a little bit of noise, a tiny bit of noise, despite being old. Now, one wobbles, the other one does make a lot more grinding noise, but not always. But they're old, that's fine. But normally they don't really make, the motor itself does not make the noise. And it's a fucking new thing. You know? And it's like, okay, the fan here wasn't working for a week now. But the box fan was actually doing just fine here. I could buy a new box fan and leave this toilet saucer up there. You know, that's another option. You know, I could get the electrician out, spend a fortune on that, and be like, oh yeah, so was it installed wrong? Is it just the motor? You know? And if it's the motor, right, it's like, okay, so is there a box that tells me, oh, this is going to be such a fucking loud motor that you're always going to hear a faint lawnmower sound, okay? And the fan, despite being very nice and good, and it's a very powerful fan, it's better than all the ones there, it's better than what was here, even when it was working. It says Quiet Motor Technology Plus. I think Home Depot listed it as a DC motor, and those that use less power and they speed up quickly, but you can hear it revving up like that electricity noise. It's almost like those old neon signs, and you could hear it like the electricity in it or whatever the hell it was. You could hear it's that noise, and I hope it comes through. Otherwise, I'm looking even more crazy than usual. But it's like, is it really that hard for something to work out of the fucking box? And then, and this one day at a time. All right, fine. What can we do today? We can post it on some forums. But yeah, the catastrophizing does come, which is, okay, this doesn't work, and then, yep, might as well kill myself. That's literally what comes up with these things. Because even these little frustrations, I just can't take this anymore. Even these little frustrations that fuck with me. This should fucking work, okay? Yeah. And it just reminds me, I have nothing else going on, right? That's why, as I said, I think that's why it's so raw. It's like skin that's very thin. Well, literally, I'm very thin-skinned. And because there's nothing else going on, little things like this set me off. And again, this is probably the motor issue, right? How the fuck am I supposed to know this shit? Like, oh, this is actually just loud enough that, I know. But it's noticeably louder than the other fucking old fans. And I have been cooped up here a little too much since I moved in here a month ago. I've been trying to fix little things and selling, but it's been going slow. And I actually I've done walking every day. I've done swimming every day. So I've been outside, but I haven't gone out to the parks, the state parks. I haven't explored around. I could have, but it's just so easy to be just stuck in here and procrastinate on the computer or try to fix things. And oh my goodness, I screwed in I screwed in the air vents here. They're no longer rattling. That's good. That was one of the reasons a fan's good. So little house noises like that are gone, right? It's just the helplessness of it. Like, what the fuck? And, I don't know. In some ways, how many? 13 minutes. Yeah, double here. Yeah, we can do double this. It's just... and then what? I just get a traditional fan, maybe? Because it's like, come on. How can people... If it's the motor or whatever, why is it... Because I looked online already, and they said that whenever you have the clicking sound with the breeze function, let's put that on. Maybe it'll be picked up. It rotates the breeze or rotates the speed settings, right? And it does it every 30 seconds, 60 seconds. But on top of the normal humming, you hear these two clicks, this click on, click off. And it's like, okay, if you click the whole thing on once, fine. But, like, what point is the function of that if it's just going to click every 30 seconds, noticeably? Like, how can you sleep with that? Fucking clicking sound. I think that was it, yeah. No, and you can hear the faint humming. It's just a motor. And part of it is also, they said, the fan noises go away after 24 hours, so maybe it's that. Especially if I'm going to be gone for the rest of the day, I'll just keep this on, and it can, because a lot of these are kind of self-lubricated where you don't have to pour oil in anymore, but there's the click again, yeah. Not that doesn't even matter, but it's how does no one like go up to this and say, yep, this is louder, so we can't sell this, you know? Old fans from 20 years ago, they have less fucking motor noise. Quiet motor technology plus. My fucking ass. There's the click. God, like what? Oh, it's remote control and you know. I was gonna sell the dresser that I was mentioning, the ugly thing that used to be here. I couldn't even leave it out by the side of the curb. Somebody did want to buy it, and then they're not showing up at the right time, maybe tomorrow, and it's just this minutia. You know, there isn't any feeling of success even with these little things. And you know, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe these little successes that, you know, won't even matter because who cares? They don't get to the. Maybe those little things keep me complacent enough. You know, renting the house, although again with the handyman stuff and he was incompetent, that was pissing me off like hell. It still was somebody else is going to do it. It's not my problem. I think with a little bit of more proactivity here, even if these things don't go well, okay, fine. You know, we can think about the deeper issues. You know, in the same way, it wasn't the handyman at the old place. It was, I have nothing else going on. Well, I have nothing else going on here. And if these daily frustrations are just enough to keep my eye on that and say, well, fuck it, none of these things really matter. We can put a box fan there. We can ask online. We can ask other places online. Reddit is often pretty okay with some of this stuff if you're direct enough. I can call in. I have plenty of time. You know, I can ask the electrician guy, hey, we got another electrician out. I don't know, we put another fan up. We put this back. And, you know, $500 later, hopefully they take returns. Maybe we can get a fucking fan on a ceiling, you know? And the money isn't even the issue. You know, it's like, whatever. It's just the frustration of it. Yeah. But again, nothing else is going on, so we can talk about that perhaps. But let's see here. Yeah, 17. We got another couple minutes. I don't want to combine too many of these. Too much work, and then I have to edit them, and yeah, it's too hard, isn't it? But yeah, that's what it comes down to. What's the point of it all? You know, I really wish there was some purpose. I wish there was something worth doing. You know, people being around, but. And I mentioned in one of the previous videos, I don't know if I even uploaded it. Who knows? Who cares? That fucking humming. It's just in the clicks, but again, we can keep it on one speed. The humming is still going to be there. It's just this constant electrical bzzz, hum. You know, and some people said maybe it's the receiver, so you got to hardwire it in. Well, great, then the remote doesn't work, in which case maybe you can hardwire the lights in, and fuck that. You can't dim the lights anymore. I don't even care. So the point is there's options. It's fucking frustrating. You know? It's just this open-ended, when is this going to be solved? And again, it's good to think of, I'll solve it this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. We don't have to solve everything today, and we can't. We really can't. You know? And it's part of it is not necessarily a bad personality trait to be like, we gotta fucking fix this shit, but it doesn't feel good, you know? What was I going on, the despair and the suicidal stuff? Yeah, I really wish there was something to live for, you know? I wish I wish I had... Yeah, the stuff we talked about. I wish there was somewhere you could show up and it's like, no, we thought this through. Yeah, and it just seems so empty everywhere. you know. People are just okay with 9-to-5 jobs and okay with that's never fulfilled me. I could never do that. I always wanted, even just on the more superficial level of, okay, we got 7 minutes. I can't do the fan. It's, you know. And then, you know, fuck, this doesn't, okay, we could do old-fashioned fan, maybe, because again, the right switch controlled the fan, and there were no lights on the other one, and I was happy with it. I was like, fine, it works. You know? It's just that it should have already worked. Maybe we can put a normal old-timey one in there because, fuck, the technology hasn't arrived after how many years of wireless stuff or whatever the fuck is wrong with it. But yeah, I just... Yeah, the 9-to-5 stuff just never did it for me. You know, have kids, and I'm not opposed to it. You know, I go out by the pool and I see, well, it's kind of fun, I guess, but it's just, there's got to be more to life than, I wouldn't say banal things. It's just, I quit college. I made good money. It was fun. It was great. It was something different. You know, I want to talk about, you know, we got a few minutes. You know, who cares? No one's watching this anyways. You know, like, oh, we'll edit it this way. Fuck it. If you're interested in this, you know, you're going to make it through to this stuff. Anyways, I asterisk, in case you've noticed, the more important parts of the timestamp stuff. I don't know. I keep going back and forth between the practical stuff and the... Who cares? I'll repeat it 1,000,000. I can repeat it 1,000,000 times. That's fine. You know, I just have this thing. I cannot repeat things. I've said it once. Let's move. That's fine. That's not how anything works. You know, all the people who do get a big audience, or they repeat everything all the time. So it's fine. Or a big, good enough audience, or large enough to. But really, I don't. Maybe, look, if this goes off, maybe I can record a new one and post it as a new thing. Yeah, let's do that, because let me get into technical difficulties, because, you know, it's I back up these things, but as you can imagine, they fill up the external hard drive, and that's cloud backup, and then I'm running it, and then if it's a new, you know, you're just running out of space, you know. And then I anticipate, well, half a year from now with this, then it's going to run out. Then I have that issue. And I just forecast way too much into the fucking future. Like, what can I do today? Instead of just being paralyzed by, it's not working right now and it'll never work, you know? But getting back to, I did want to talk about the Danube incident. Yes, that is something important. But just even the 9-to-5 stuff. It's not just boohoo, my parents suck and everybody else sucks too because I can't talk to anyone else about my shitty. It's not just that. That's important too. But even just on the, I couldn't see myself having a normal job. That was suicide inducing as well at the time. Like, what, I'm going to 9-to-5? I mean, it's not like I'm above it, you know. I clean my own toilets. You know. But it just never felt like I fit in there. And I always, or the metaphor, the parable or something, it's like you got trains, right? And they go a straight line. And I'm like an airplane. I want to go, well, I guess airplanes should be better to keep kind of straight, but airplanes have a more 3D range of motion, right? They can go every train. It's a predetermined path, and it goes from here to there. Airplanes are more three-dimensional. They can go wherever, right? And I've always looked at myself as an airplane. You know, I look back. I went to a college preparatory. I quit college, so you can see how that was money well spent. Someone's drilling outside now. The noises. The noises. Okay, so fine. You know what? We're gonna leave this here because I think I'm gonna talk a lot more about. We'll have that as a separate thing. I don't have to then combine and edit, and Windows Movie Maker, as all professionals do. We will continue with the airplane, standalone airplane train parable. Okay? We'll do that. And fuck this goddamn fan.